Congratulations, you've chosen a profession that you love, right? Now, I'm going to ask you, are you guys sitting next to people that you already know? Everybody's sitting next to somebody that you don't know. Woo! All right, that's going to be great. Because I'm going to ask you to play a little bit with me today. I approach my coaching intuitively. And when I work with my clients, I use not only my intuition, but I'm also coaching them to learn to develop their intuition. My mentor is a woman by the name of Sonia Choquette. Some of you may know her. For a number of years, I taught her work for her, and it's just really opened my life. So we're going to play a little bit with that today. Speak up. I'd be happy to do that. I left the corporate world about 8 years ago after a series of corporate crises at People's Energy, and thought I was going to open a wellness center, and didn't. Wrote my first book called I Quit. I quit and choose work that aligns with my soul, and that led to workshops and one-on-ones, and just it evolved organically to the place where I am today, which is this idea of, let's see if this works, unlocking your soul's code. You all know that you already have really everything you need, right? Just is sitting inside, sometimes tucked away in places that are really a little more difficult to get at, which is what you guys help people do. Get at those things that tend to block them from accomplishing the things that they want to do. One of the things that I've developed in my time working with people is an ability to see and hear things, gaps. And I'm sure many of you do that as well. You see or hear the gaps, and you help them bridge between those gaps. I got to this idea of unlocking your soul's code because there are so many people that seem to be struggling with an idea of how is it, they wanted to jump to the how, to get right into the action space. And we seem to struggle so often. So I'm going to now move to this idea of congratulations, because there's so many of us who are struggling with what it is that we want to do. You guys know, you probably encounter it every day. People who are struggling with what they feel called to do versus what they find themselves doing. Or they're stuck in a space that they can't quite see how to navigate around, those obstacles. But in your case, again, congratulations. What I'd like for you to do, before we get started, does everybody have paper? Well, a sheet of paper and a pen, because you're going to need that a little bit. Now what I want you to do is I want you to just take like 2 seconds and kind of look around the room and find something that catches your attention. And then I'm going to ask you to answer just a couple of questions. Okay?
Something or someone?
Something. It could be something. It could be someone. Just notice what you notice. Okay? Just something that catches your attention. Like, for me, it was that piece of crusty French bread. Which I can no longer eat. So, it could be anything. Small, large, another person, something in someone's hair, but find something. And now what I want you to do is I want you to take just a couple seconds, sentences, describe it. Describe that thing. Whatever it is that you are noticing. Things that we're so valiantly, seeking. But occasionally, there's some things that don't quite work so well, right? Maybe you don't have enough of your ideal clients. Maybe you haven't reached the point where you're charging what you're worth. Maybe you have not refined your niche and you're trying to figure out how to really differentiate yourself in the marketplace. Maybe you are not feeling it. Perhaps maybe it's just still not quite right for you. There's something we can do about that. right? The solution, I feel, one of the solutions is to understand your soul's code. It's very much, the way I see it, it's very much like DNA. It's like built into who you are. It's already there. It's already part of you. It's a matter of excavating that, really pulling those pieces out and understanding and refining it, to really get your hands around your unique space in the universe, right? The way I see people oftentimes is like puzzle pieces, right? Where, a puzzle piece has a very distinct place where it fits in the puzzle. And I don't know about you, I used to try at times to jam puzzle pieces into the wrong places. Or it would look so close. It would almost be there, but not quite right. Like that little corner was off. And what I find is that, we examine many of the edges, but not necessarily all of the edges. And so we really have an opportunity to invite those quirky bits. The things that we used to be told, to shove down or to quiet or don't be so goofy or don't be so silly or, things that are naturally part of who you are. Bring those back to the surface. Because the reality is, right, we don't need 100,000 clients, right? I don't know how many of you can handle 100,000 clients on your own. Maybe with, a fabulous coaching team, but we really need like 10, 20, over the year. I mean, you understand what I'm saying. We don't really need that many to hit a level of financial abundance or support, what we're really looking for. So what we really need are the people who are looking for us, right? We need to find the people who resonate with us, who get our sense of humor or our directness, depending on your style, right? We each have individual styles. What is your style? And have you called that to the table? Are you really expressing that, or is there still a little bit of hesitancy around your willingness to do that? Do you feel like you have to look a certain way, even though your heart's telling you you don't? Are you still following rules that somebody else set up, but they don't quite feel right? It's just questions to ask. So what we're going to do today is a couple of the steps, the first 3 steps in my system that will help excavate some of those pieces to the extent that they may still be hiding out for you. Okay? Sound good? Yeah. All right. So I like to say that your business is meant to fit you like a glove. Right? It should fit you. It should be working to support you as opposed, you guys totally know this, working to support you as opposed to you working to support the business. How many of your clients do you find on a regular basis who are exhausted, struggling, having a hard time finding time? I know I still have difficulty at times finding time, and creating my business to run and operate the way that really feeds me. We're really fortunate in that as entrepreneurs. You can design your business the way that you want to. It doesn't have to be by anybody else's rules. And if we go back to the thought we had a few minutes ago, realistically, how many people do I need to find? And is my message consistent with what's true for me? Because, of course, the stronger and more clear my message is, the more authentic it is, the more likely we are to have people attracted to us that are looking for exactly what we put out. I use the example of a lighthouse. And, imagine a lighthouse with 100 windows, but, all but 7 of them are blacked out. So the little ship out there is going to light every 35th window or something. There's a light. And the ship is like, what the heck? Is that a lighthouse? Am I supposed to be worried? You know, trying to figure out what's true. What we have to do is clear those windows, right? And broadcast a true signal, a clear signal, an accurate signal. I mean, we get really afraid to just be us. And it takes a lot of energy to resist that. It takes a lot of energy to hold that in, to stamp things down, to try and play by other people's rules. It takes a lot of energy to do that. Wouldn't it be nice to just be in flow around that? And really the heck with what anybody else thinks. Because I'm really looking for my community. And that's the way I see things going too.